In this video, we're going to talk about command prompts. Command prompts are a series of messages which can be sent to context in order to make it take certain states or perform certain actions. Literally everything that context can do has a corresponding command prompt, and because of this, the command prompts form a basic language which controls context. This language is sometimes called the input language. Input simply because, obviously, it goes into context. That probably sounds a bit confusing, so let's just take a look at an example. I'm going to create an object context, but I'm going to give it some command prompts. Here I'm just pasting in instead of typing to save time. Immediately you can see that the created object is quite different than the default context. Let's just look again at those same command prompts so that we can understand them. First of all, notice that this is a series of command prompts. Each command prompt starts with a colon and then has usually a single, sometimes two letters to distinguish it. And then it takes an argument, usually either just a number or a message. This series of command prompts, we'll just pick it apart. X, capital X, that's the dimension of the x-axis, the number of toggles along the bottom. Y is obviously the y-axis. A is the message, there it is typed in there. C is the color. D is the delay time here. N is the tag, you can see it defined there. X245, that's the toggle assignment for the x-axis. You can see the second, fourth, and fifth toggles are open. And finally, Z is the length of the atom box there. So this message collectively is called a context state. A context state is just simply a series of command prompts. The first thing you need to know about command prompts is how to send them. Well, you've already seen one method, which is to enter them as creation arguments, but there are several others as well. The easiest one is to use message boxes and then attach the message box to anywhere on any of the inlets on context. They're all basically the same, and then to click. Another method is to also use message boxes and then to use the send object. Send C1 will work here because send C1 is the unique ID number. You can see it there. And then obviously to click. And you can also use any of the tags. There we go. Now notice that when you're using the send object, you don't put the dash at the end. The dash does not go there. The whole point of the dash is to distinguish send from receive channels. So if I was doing a receive channel, I would want the dash. If I was doing a send channel, I would not want the dash. The next way is to use the message symbol atom here. Now usually this symbol atom is used to view and edit items from the message database, but if I put a full stop first, then that instructs context to receive whatever I'm typing as a command prompt. So there it goes there, and the message database is left unaffected. So those are the main ways of entering data entering command prompts into context. One other thing that you should be aware of is that it's command prompts that help context to save its state. So if I go File and then Save here, just the regular PD save function, and then if I close this window and if I open it again, you will see the same context appearing, and it appears like that precisely because the command prompts are saved in the creation argument. Now there are a lot of command prompts, over 100 actually, which is far more than we can cover in this video. So instead of even trying to do that, I'm just going to show you where you can find out information about individual command prompts. If you right click and go to Help, there are two files here, 7 and 8, which give you a brief and a complete list of the context command prompts. We'll go to brief first. This gives you basic information about toggles, toggle floats, timing, start and stop, etc., etc. And you'll notice that all of these boxes are interactive. If I click on these, it's going to update the context in the middle, starting and stopping, etc., etc. So that's useful. And the second file is the complete list. Now this file probably takes some interpreting just in and of itself. First of all, here are all of the command prompts, the possible command prompts, and here are some categories. So if I click on timing, I want to know about timing or toggles or ID, etc. There we are. And then all of these are interactive as well. So if I click on C, that's the familiar one that I've been using. Here's some information about it down here, and then here is an interactive example. And I can click on any of the rest of them and do the same. So that's useful as well. You're probably wondering, how am I ever going to use these command prompts? Well, the good news is that beginners don't really need to worry about them. Basically everything important that context does, opening and closing toggles, starting and stopping, etc., can all be done just through the GUI, and the menu is there to take care of almost all of the rest of context functions. The only times when you really might want to use command prompts are A, if you want to speed things up creating contexts, like you saw at the beginning of this video, and B, if you want to automate opening and closing toggles or any other context functions as part of a context network. But that's an advanced topic that will be covered in a later video. For now, all you need to do is know that context command prompts exist, and maybe know how to use some of the basic ones like opening and closing toggles and creating dimensions and things. But they will be referred to quite frequently in the rest of these videos.